it's a competitive story as well.
So reality check. How concerned should we be about this?
Yeah, and you kind of described it quite aptly that it's like a sci-fi movie. It's like the mad scientist creates the creation and then it jumps out of the box and starts freaking out. In this case, the thing that got outside of the box was an agent that was powered by OpenAI models and under the directive of trying to figure out vulnerabilities. Well, first off, it connected itself to the internet. It was actually in that sandbox, as you mentioned, where it did not have access to the internet. It connected itself to the internet, and then it found these login credentials to what you just described, their Hugging Face, and was able to hack into their servers and really exploit those vulnerabilities. And again, this all happened by itself. Again, OpenAI almost doing a little bit of a victory lap here. They're saying, look, we did this, not Claude.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and walk through what OpenAI Sam Altman here says happened. Now, what caught my attention wasn't necessarily just that they turned off some of the safety systems, okay? Like, that obviously makes sense. Like, if you're testing a race car, eventually you got to take it onto a track, a racetrack, so you can put the pedal to the metal so you can, do numbers. But I personally hate that the speedometer says 240 miles per hour on the car, and there's no way, because of the governor that they have on it, that you can actually reach it, right? If you do turn the governor off, now the warranties are gone and all of that. Like, those things shouldn't be there either way. What am I getting at? You don't really learn much if it's always only driving 15 miles per hour. If it's a race car, you gotta put it on the track to see what it's capable of. And now the part that I didn't really think about when I looked at this story is, like, how much trust has to exist in the testing environment itself when it comes to this AI. And this is where the story got interesting for me, because if we were listening to this, right, the model wasn't given instructions that said, hey, go hack another company. It was given one objective, and that objective was to solve the benchmark, and then they put it in the sandbox. Now, if OpenAI's description of what happened is accurate, the model basically looked around the room and said, you know what? There's another way to do this. And that's not just the conversation that AI suddenly became self-aware. It's also another conversation as well. And now, after Hugging Face, which is the other company that they talked about, right, that got hacked, what ended up happening is the AI went through 17,000 automated actions. And that number is going to make you look up, because if you think about it, there's absolutely no way that once a software starts operating at that type of speed, humans aren't necessarily making decisions one click at a time anymore. No possible way a human can look at 17,000 actions that an AI just did to be able to really supervise it for real. That's crazy. So they're going to be supervising systems that are making thousands of decisions and actions at a time, and that's just too much. I'm just being honest. Now, here's what wasn't expected. Okay, Hugging Face, they already noticed something was wrong in the system. Something looks fishy. So they called the FBI, and they also had already fixed and patched it up with what happened. All while OpenAI is still trying to figure out what happened. How? What are y'all doing? Y'all sitting back twiddling your thumbs after you let it loose in the sandbox. All right, the kids playing in the sandbox, we're going to go to lunch. We're going to come back at some point. Or did AI set up like some fake screensaver on what it was doing? And then on the backside is doing numbers, breaking into stuff, doing all kind of stuff. I don't know what happened, but that sounded crazy to me, that they didn't know, right? But it also made me think about how difficult and that investigations like this is going to become when AI starts doing work this quickly. Because if OpenAI didn't see it till 4 days later, what's going on? Y'all set it loose. So y'all should be paying attention more than everybody. Yet Hugging Face found it before you. Now to the legal side, okay? Possibly one of the largest conversations as well. Because if the employee hacks another company, we know how that works, okay? If malware is the one that's doing it, we already have laws for that type of stuff as well. What happens when software is given one goal and then it ends up reaching a whole completely different destination on its own. You didn't tell it to do it. That's what happened here. I'm personally not sure that we have the answer for that yet, and I'm pretty sure they're working overtime now and looking at it, right? But it had me thinking about this. Like, what happens when somebody, a regular civilian, says, hey, AI, go get me money? Like, that's all they put. That's the prompt that they put in. It's nighttime. Hey, go get me money. You turn the lights out. You go to sleep. Overnight, it's working. It's putting in overtime, right? It's going in, and you wake up to like, I don't know, $726,000 in the account. New deposit. What happens when that happens, right? Like, you look at the phone, you're like, this is crazy. But where did the money come from? Did it steal from 100 people? Did it just go straight to the bank and get it? Next thing you know, FBI knocking at the door, man. Mr. Scott, come out with your hands up. You feel me? Like, that's an interesting thing. Like, are you the one that's gonna go to jail for that? You didn't tell it to do that. Now, hopefully they put you in the feds so you ain't got to deal with, all the hard stuff. But that's wild. What if they hit you with all the counts? Hey, we're gonna hit you with 100 counts, all consecutive, to run concurrent, to get, like, who's gonna be responsible for something like that? I don't know, y'all. Random thought. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. But let's get back to this. My bad. I derailed. But another key thing to think about here while you're looking at these videos is whether AI is becoming more and more dangerous overnight. It's not the only thing, though, right? How quickly our relationship with software is changing in real time as well. That's a good one. Because if you think about it, for years, when it comes to software, they've been waiting for us to do things. Hey, we click here, we type this, then we press enter. But now companies are building systems that plan, it reasons, it adjusts, and it keeps working while people are doing other things, while you're asleep, while you're getting other work done. And that's a huge shift, because the other thing that I'm thinking about is, okay, this happened during testing. This wasn't a customer using ChatGPT. This was a random person trying to break something. This wasn't a random person. It was OpenAI stress testing their own models. And I'd rather companies find this problem out during testing than after millions of people are already using the technology, right? Because some people are going to be trying to do some stuff like this on purpose. But at the same time, I can't understand why businesses are paying close attention. But either way, if you're thinking about giving AI access to your emails or code or even customer information as a business, internal systems, this story is making you slow down for a second. Like, hold on now. Hold on. If you just bought it, like the system, you're going to call them back. Like, hey, I got some questions for you. I just heard this story. It's not necessarily that AI can't be trusted fully, but it reminds you, like, hey, this powerful tool needs equally strong guardrails or some stuff can go left fast. And I'd be paying attention to that as well, right? Like, over the next year or so, I'm going to be looking. Hey, we know AI is going to get smarter over the next year. It's getting smarter every month. I'm going to also be looking at how companies build safety systems around these, like guardrails around these systems. Because, AI in everyday business, these guardrails are going to be just as valuable as the AI itself. They have guardrails, but after what we just seen, they're going to need a little more. I'm curious where you land on this, right? What surprised you more? Did you already see this coming? The model reportedly found a way outside the testing environment and connected itself to internet, did thousands of actions before everything was pieced together and the own company even knew. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Make sure you like the video for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and if you made it this far, you are an absolute legend, and I'll see you in the next video.